was how could the community work together to help each other understand and address violence in each community?
Okay, it can happen to anybody. You know, they would say, my kid would never do that. My kid would never be in a gang or never be in drugs, but it can happen to anybody. So you need to look for the signals and not look the other way. You know, this year alone, I've been to over 90 funerals of kids under the age of 18.
Wow.
So it happens to anybody, and it can happen to any one of us. So my thing about this whole thing about denial seems to be the button I'm pushing on to make sure that you're paying attention to all.
I think that we don't, I live in Highland Park now, and I'm of the thinking that these things don't happen until my granddaughter comes home from New Trier, telling me some of the things that's going on at New Trier, and the things she's telling me are exactly what I'm reading in the newspapers that are happening on the south side and west side. They're in New Trier. The only difference is that all these young people, I'm talking about Highland Park, have enough money from parents that are either traveling around or they're left with housekeepers, and they don't answer to anybody. There's lots of drugs in the.
We all share a common thread in terms of social ills that affect our communities. The same things that are wrong with here in Chicago is going on in LA, in Detroit, in Orlando. And if we asked you all to write on a piece of paper what you thought you could do or what could happen in your community that would help, you would probably say quality education, better health care, more employment, better sanitation, common threads that we all share. And there's one thing we all have in common. We can vote. So you listen to the people who are running for offices, and you see if their message matches up with the concern in your community about what you would like to see happen. And then you can either get behind that person or someone else who more closely is doing what you would like to see done. And then you go vote. You help that person. You put a sign in your yard, you hold tea parties and you talk, you go to community centers and you discuss issues, and you get people in office who will do the things that you want to see happen.
I think it starts with a realistic look internally. I want to echo what Robert said. I mean, you've got to be realistic about your home, you know, your kids, the people you can reach out to, you can touch, and address issues that are there. I think many times that we're looking at our own situation and going, well, this isn't the same thing that I see over there.
We all came as immigrants on a very competitive basis, that we are allowed to immigrate to this country based on our qualification, either a doctor or an engineer or a scientist. That's what's the requirement. So when we came in here, we were competing with the local competition and expecting the children to do a lot better than anybody else in there, competing with the local as well as with the other Indian children. So that puts the poor children in a lot of pressure. They are new, they struggle, and lots of them, as I know, have hurt themselves in many ways. And the only one way, my advice to parents and grandparents is communications. They should have some kind of a way that in case they get into any problem anywhere, that either failing an exam or getting into some drug habits or something, they should be able to talk to somebody, either a father, mother, or an uncle or a grandfather. Need to have that freedom to call and tell them, hey, look, I have this problem, I need help. So immediately these people should be prepared to go there, take care of the problem, then think about what we need to do for the future in there. I have seen that repeatedly in this country, how these children hurt themselves, including lots of suicide they committed suicide, we have seen that. And only way to prevent that would be they should have some avenue to come to the right person. That could be a core family friend, father, mother. In general, father and mother are not really fit into that because they are the one putting them to that type of pressure.